very welcome that you are joining us here tonight. And this is a cooperation with Hans and the IMN Amsterdam, because Hans is also a member of the International Millionaires Network. And maybe you're thinking, what? International Millionaires Network? The reason is why we are called like this is we believe you at least need 1 million to have your freedom. Yes, you can do whatever you can do if you have 1 million. So the IMN Amsterdam is founded in 2016 by G.T. Fox, and maybe some of you know G.T. Fox. He is an inspirational speaker, and he traveled around the world, and he let everyone in the world know, if you are working on your mindset, you can really discover your freedom and get it for forever. And now since 2019, I'm the chair of IMN Amsterdam, and I like to show you that we have there a website over there. When you go to our website, IMN Amsterdam, you see all about what we are doing. You see also the meeting from tonight, that we have several subgroups like I'm in London, I'm in Paris, about health and Switzerland, and more countries are adding this year. So we are really growing community. And we also have this really nice online community where we all together, we can meet in a targeted way and organize online meetings. We do it like tonight, and then you see here we have a pretty nice calendar where you can see all the meetings. On Monday, we have, by example, a local meeting in Woerden here in the Netherlands. So it's, yeah, we have a lot to do together, and we are very close, and we have good connections, and we help each other. By example, on Mondays, we are used to meet us in a mastermind. And in the mastermind, you can always ask your question about what's going on in your life, what's going on in your business, what's going in your personal life. And then we help each other on the way to success. And always someone is in a meeting who knows someone who can help you. So for me, it's really a valuable time. I learn a lot from all the others, and I meet a lot of wonderful people. I'm so happy that I did this, that I meet all these people, and we are growing. And especially now in this COVID pandemic, we have this online community. We meet each other like today. So if you like to join us, it's an annual membership for only $36 a year. So that's a no-brainer to join us. And by example, we have tomorrow evening a wonderful meeting with our member Laurens de Groot. He will explain us as well what to do when the crisis hits and his point of view. If you like to join, let me know. I sent you the link that you can also subscribe to that meeting. It will be tomorrow at 4 p.m. So this is so far about the IMN Amsterdam. Like I said, we are meeting globally, and we are traveling globally. By example, Ara is now in Mexico. Some of you are in France. So we have people from Great Britain as well. And I really love that we have all cultures, and the IMN really stands for equality. Yeah, it's no matter what your background is, culture, of your preference, if you are for the vaccine or against, we really are a community together, and we want to build the future together. So very, very welcome you all. And I'm so very happy, Hans, that you did the action and we work together on this meeting tonight, because I really love what you are talking about together with Margay. I've been to this location in Italy in 2010. It was a wonderful trip. So Hans, please take it over.
Thank you, Claudia. Thank you for your introduction, and thank you for facilitating this. this, you do the digital virtual thing, which is totally out of my comfort zone. So thank you, Claudia, for doing this. Hello, good evening again. My name is Hans Nordsiek, if you don't know me, and I'm your host tonight for a subject that I have the impression that all of us we have some interest in. Let me first start with the agenda of today. After Claudia, I have a talk of about 5 to 10 minutes. Then we have a poll, a survey. Then Margay will talk for about 30 minutes. And then the last 15 minutes is question time. And then we should finish by 8 o'clock. We will keep the Zoom meeting open after 8 o'clock. Then the bar is open. If you want to have informal chit chat, that is fine. So being a pilot, I'm familiar with keeping strict on the time, so we'll try to do that. Before I introduce our guest, our speaking guest for today, the following thing: a parallel society. You know, on purpose, I did not pre-cook the ideas about this, because we are at the beginning of thinking about what it is. So I want to keep it as wide as possible. In my opinion, parallel society is walking parallel instead of somebody in front of us or above us, is walking parallel towards the next stage. And I think all of us that are here now, we feel this inner motivation that things in the world doesn't seem to go in the right direction. And we see what I put in the title, that the governments seem to have different agendas than those serving you and me, the people. So we may need to do something different, because we cannot depend on the people that we have put in place. I like to stay a little bit away from the talks about the virus, because that was the icebreaker, and it's more about, well, what could be the next step for humanity. So this is the first time we do this. If it will go differently in the talks, that is fine. It's open. I'm very delighted that all of you are here. I see people with very profound and good background that have a lot to tell. The meeting is in the English language, because our good guest, Margay, he doesn't master the Dutch language, so it is in English. And it is also, of course, we like to do it globally. Somehow we think, well, think globally and act locally. Some days I heard the word confidence. What is confidence, my viewers? What is confidence? And sometimes we think confidence is that if you're 100% confident, you know exactly what you want. And that is not the definition of confidence. Confidence is that you are able to doubt, you are able to put a question mark in your life, and you're able to live with doubt, and you're able to live with the question mark. So that is confidence. When I see the people here, we are capable people that will be able to answer the question mark about what the heck is a parallel society, and what should be the next step. The disclaimer tonight is about our dear guest Margay. He lives in Damanhur, and he lives outside Damanhur. He's not we have to say this, he's not an official representative of Damanhur. So that's the disclaimer I like to tell. Also, in regard to the questions that may rise during the presentation of Margay, if there's a question of high need, okay, raise your hand, and we prefer the questions to have it after Margay's presentation. Let's start with the poll to see where we are in the world. You will be given 5 questions, and you can answer them A, B, C, or D. So I will give you the time from now on to answer these 5 questions. And then after everybody has answered the 5 questions, we will see the result. Go ahead with the 5 questions. The first one is setting up a parallel society. A, just a remote fantasy. B, an option I would consider. C, I'm ready to offer my help. Or D, highly needed. Give your answers right now. Then 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Give your answers to 1. Then answer question number 2. To start with the parallel society, we should A, have many meetings to share ideas. B, take a first action step by each individual. C, let things develop organically. Or D, have an exactly worked out plan. That's question number 2. Give your answers. And then we go to question number 3. Question number 3. My motivation to sign up for this meeting is A, finding new customers for my product services. B, seeing the global need for such an enterprise. C, helping to find an alternative for today's economical political movements. Or D, just curious what I can hear. Question 4. A parallel society needs to be located. A, in a remote place somewhere in the world, like a fenced community inside my country, inside present communities as a transparent movement. Or D, inside present communities as an underground movement. Please give your answers. And then question 5, the last one. A parallel society has, for me, the aura of A, revival of the hippie time, a sect-type community with own rules, sharing all our earthly goods with others. Or D, a modern 21st century movement that retains human values and technological achievements and is self-sustaining as far as feasible. Okay, let's see the results. We go back to answer number 8.
Hans, just wait. We wait. Give people just 1 more minute to answer. Okay, we'll give you 1 more minute. Go. We still have some people joining us here.
Ik heb een...
So, Claudia, how far are we? Can you see that?
Yes, I'm now ending the polling.
All right, thank you.
Share results.
Well, see the questions. We can make our own conclusion about where we are. Question 1, setting up a parallel society. Yeah, an option I would consider participating in. Yeah. 2, to start a parallel society, we should let things develop organically. Yeah, seems good. My motivation to sign up for this meeting is helping to find an alternative for today's economical political movements. Yes, very good. 4, a parallel society should be inside present communities as a transparent movement. Yeah, good. And then question 5. A parallel society has for me the aura of a modern 21st century movement that retains human values and technological achievement and is self-sustaining as far as feasible. Very good question, very good answer. So thank you all for these answers. I think we have a feeling now where we are as a group. So then we go towards Margay and we give Margay the world. Thank you, Claudia, for the poll.
You're welcome.
Margay, it's all yours.
Okay. So good evening, everybody. Hans kind of presented me, so I don't think I should add more things about myself. As I said, I've been living in a community for 15 years now. I'm not Italian. I came to this country from Romania. So in a way, I also had an experience when I was younger to live in a so-called communism or socialism, which was a kind of artificial community. So that's another interesting experience that probably most of you haven't had. So that's an interesting experience again. So you all know what happened, but living it from inside is completely different, believe me. So it's like now when I try to remember how it was like a nightmare or something that I can hardly imagine that might be possible, but that was really like that. Anyway, it's not the subject of today's meeting. So the name of, I mean, the topic of tonight's meetings, parallel society. I haven't chosen it, so I think Hans chose this name of parallel society. I wouldn't agree with that name completely, and I'll show you why afterwards. So in order to start my presentation, I'd like to share with you some, I prepared, well, I don't know, my screen is blocked. Strange, I cannot.
Try again, your co-host.
Okay, I know I'm co-host, but it was working before. Now after the polls, it's like the poll has blocked my screen. Can you, Claudia, can you take out the poll? I don't know, it's in my screen. I cannot share my my slides.
You have to put in the X to get out of the poll.
Yeah, I'm trying, but it's not working actually. Maybe I have to get out and enter again. I hope.
Just a moment. I share the results again, and then you close the screen of the polls.
Okay. Okay. No, it's not working. It's not. Even if I click on.
Does anyone else see the polls still in their screen?
Yes, it's still there.
You and Margay still have it.
Sorry, because I haven't. Don't know. Hans, can you cancel it?
I have cancelled whatever I could. I'm sorry, I really didn't.
No. Anyway, Hans, can you cancel on your screen that? No, I cannot.
Yes, now I cancel it.
Okay, let me see.
I cancel it now.
Now, not working yet. Not working yet.
You still have it on your screen?
Yes, it is still on my screen, actually.
Can you go on the pulse down in your screen?
Yes.
And go on it?
Yeah, pulling, okay.
Activate and close it again?
No. It's pulling, it's not doing anything. Nothing. Maybe I have to, again, to exit and enter again. Oh, that's a strange thing.
Yes, maybe you can come in, go out and come back to the meeting.
Yeah, that might be the best way to get out of it. Oh. Now even that, it won't let me leave as well. So it's like everything is blocked.
Okay.
Wow.
Interesting energy. Maybe in the meantime, Hans can a little bit explain about the location, because Margay already told about the name Damanhur, but maybe some people do not know here what it is.
Yes, now to start with the word Damanhur. Damanhur is a living community in a valley north of Torino, and it's about 800 people. And to start with the word Damanhur is that it comes from the Egyptian village that's also called Damanhur, which is in North Egypt. And it's connected with Adam and place. So that means the place where everything starts. It's like the first Adam, father of mankind. So it started in the 1970s as a small movement, and they started with digging holes in the mountain. And so many years later, they've made beautiful temples inside the mountains. And they're one of the universe's brilliant things. Those 6 or 7 temples, beautifully decorated, and all with a theme. They believe that human value living should be based upon, also based upon spiritual values and based upon being in harmony with your environment. So in Damanhur, people live in communities between 10 and 30 people in one big house. They call them nucleos. And you share everything, all your earthly goods, except your telephone and your car. And you should take care of your own income. So they don't want beggars, give me food. So everybody's independent and they work together for a higher cause. They have now it's because of the virus thing, everything is locked, and they normally have schools, they have universities, they have online universities, and I would say the most important thing is still their philosophy and how they build those temples. Seeing is believing. They have a beautiful website about it. Why we invited Margay to come here to do his talk, it's not so much to force us into, oh, we should all live together. It's not about that. It's about getting information and what are the hows and the whys. If you start up from scratch, which basically Damanhur did in the 1975. So that's the short version, the background of Damanhur. They have, yeah. Is Margay back again?
Yes, and while he's coming back to the meeting, and I asked him as well to send the presentation to us, I can tell what I was impressed about it is that this temple is built in a mountain, and when you don't see it from the outside. So that was really exciting. That is a big house, and then behind the house there's a small door, and you go through the small door in a tunnel, and then it opens up to a big temple inside a mountain that's never seen before.
Yeah. For the people who just joined, we have a digital hiccup, and we're waiting for our guest speaker to rejoin us, and to be able to share his screen. His name is Margay Larice, and there he is again. Margay, will you be able to do your?
I'm back here. Okay, so okay, now I'm going to open my my slides. Okay.
Yes. Oh, very good. Here we go.
Actually, I had to reboot my computer because it got stuck. I know, and it's an Apple, so it doesn't. It's not a PC. It was the first time it happened. Anyway. So okay. So as I said, the topic of tonight's meeting is how to set a parallel society. Actually, the name of parallel society was chosen by Hans. I mean, I don't fully agree with that that name, and I'll say I'll explain why. So, what is a parallel society? As probably most of you or some of you, I have tried to find a definition. What is a parallel society? And look what Wikipedia is saying about a parallel society. So, self-organization, ethnic or religious minority, immigrant groups, reduced or minimal spatial, social, and cultural contact. So not really nice words about what a parallel society might mean in a mainstream media or mainstream culture. So we need to think, I think, we need to see why we should choose the words in a proper way. Because again, if somebody is looking after that concept, as I did, and find that kind of definition, I don't think it's really nice. Because, of course, the question is, does parallel society mean segregation for the majority society? Probably not, surely not. But according to the definition that Wikipedia is giving, that might be that situation. So actually, I was searching for the definition to that concept in Cambridge Dictionary online and Oxford Dictionary online, and I couldn't find it. So I could only find definition for parallel and definition for society. I couldn't find a definition for parallel society except from Wikipedia. So what is the difference? What are the similarities between a parallel society or a community, which I obviously prefer as a name, community. So according to Cambridge Dictionary, community is formed by all the people that live in a particular area or a group of people who are considered as a unit because of their shared interests or backgrounds. So here we have a group of people sharing common interests or common background. Of course, why setting up a parallel society or a community? That's another good question. And of course, we might have different reasons, personal reasons or group reasons to try to set up a community in this case. I have chosen two famous quotes I think most of you are familiar with. One is from Buckminster Fuller. You never change things by fighting the existing reality. To change something, build a new model that makes the existing model obsolete. And somebody else, more famous than Buckminster Fuller, we cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. So, starting from that introduction, which is, I think, made clear what my opinion is about creating a new community or a new parallel society. So we choose the name we want to. I try to figure out a model of how to create a community in that case. So I call it a circular approach, and you see why, and I'll try to share with you my ideas about that. So this is a circle. And we have part of that community modeling, what I call the motivational model. So in my approach, this is the main starting point. Well, anyway, the starting point of everything. What are the motivations about creating a new model? Eventually, a model that would make the old model that we want to substitute obsolete. We'll see if we'll be successful or not. Only facts and reality can prove that. So, starting from that motivational model, we can create a social model. We can call it a community or a parallel society, or we can find a different name for it, but it is a social model where people are living together, because obviously we cannot create something new if we don't get together physically or on, online or in other ways. So in order to support a social model, we need an economical model. So something that can support the social model and can make the motivational model practical. Of course, between these three parts, there are links. So why would we create a community or a group of people doing something different? Because we have personal motivations. Some people might call them inner motivations. And we also can have group motivations if there is already a group that shares the same motivations. From the social model, we go on to the economical model. And here we need to work on the quality of the relationship between people. And this is really, really important. And of course, from the quality of the relationship, we have the quality of life of that group. And we go back to the motivational model, but on another level if we have successfully created an economical model by finding the interest that we share. So from the economical model, we find what interests we are sharing. And of course, we can also create something like an entrepreneurship company, a business, a non-profit organization. We can call it in different ways, but that's a company again, or economical model that is working, functional. So and we go back to the motivational model, because at that point, if we successfully develop the other two models, social and economical, we might find that our motivational model or our motivation might change. And again, we can find other different personal motivations, group motivations, improve our social model, improve our economical model, and go on, I would say, forever. That's always place for improvement, of course. So today I think, since we are here for the first time and we don't really know each other, what we can share are our motivations, because in order to build a social model or a company or economic model, we still need time and we need to get to know each other. But motivations can be, according to a very simple definition, intrinsic motivations. So they are internal factors that are supposed to meet personal needs. But we do those things because we enjoy them, not because we have to do that, because somebody else is telling us to do that. And of course, we can have extrinsic motivations that come from external factors, but those factors are given or controlled by the others. So here we need to pay attention. You know, one of my favorite sayings is, if you don't have your personal goals or purposes in life, you are the perfect tool for other people's goals or purposes. I think it's true. And if we meditate on it, I think it's important to see that this is actually the reality in which we are living. We are controlled by motivations given by the others. So of course, there are social media that are giving us motivation. There is the market that is giving us motivations. We have so-called needs that actually are created, manufactured by the others. So in order to create a market for them. Okay. So guys, this is actually what I wanted to tell you about what I mean, what is my idea, my approach in creating the model, starting again from motivation. So I would like to talk to you or to share to you about these motivations. As I said, I had experiences in living in a huge community or huge society, which is called socialism. And there, of course, the motivations, the goal of that society was to create equality between people and everybody work actually according to his skills and be rewarded equally. That's ideal. No, that's nice. Okay, everybody should do his or her best and be rewarded in the same way. And obviously it didn't work because people were not motivated to do their best, because everything turned out to be corrupted, and all the society was a clientele society. So, okay, everybody was based on relationship. Nobody would care to do his best, and everything collapsed at the end. So that's a good example why we need to find real motivations and to share them between us. And also it's important for me to find what is the quality of life. As I said in my previous slide, one important part is the quality of life, which is based on the quality of relationship. But quality of life is also given what are really the needs. what are real needs that we have? Is it a real need to, I don't know, to own a Ferrari? I don't know. That might be a real need necessary for some people. So if we need to create a new group of people, a new community, or a new parallel society, whatever we might call it, we need to take that into consideration. Does everybody has like a same basic needs or not? That's important to establish from the very beginning, because if somebody has like a basic need to have a Ferrari and somebody else doesn't, it's difficult to create a new society or a new community. And of course, there are many aspects. So this is a very general model that I shared with you in my approach. We can talk about, of course, different aspects of it. About motivation and motivational model, I think my friend Hans can say a lot. He is trying to develop that kind of model in his hero journey, which I share with him, of course. I came here in Italy because my motivations, my inner motivations, personal motivations, are very close to the motivations that were the people here had in order to develop this community that we mentioned, and Hans told something at the beginning. So my motivation to come here was because my inner motivation was very close, the same to the motivations that people had when they created that community. Of course, there is always a change. So even this community now is in a big change, even because the founder has passed away 7 years ago. So that's kind of turning point for whatever human groups. And of course, we need to go on that circle to find new motivations, to improve the social model, to improve and develop economic model, and so on. I wouldn't tell you more about all these things. Maybe even if I still have, I think, 5 minutes, yeah, for sharing with you my ideas. There are lots of them, but maybe it would be better to take questions from you, so we can see what you have understood from my explanation, my presentation, and if there are some aspects of my presentation that you need to go more in detail. Okay?
Very good, Margay. Thank you so much. Very interesting what you put forward about.
I stopped sharing my screen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, very good. One more time, Margay. Thank you very much for your presentation. It's all about motivation. I took up some interesting points for me to learn from you. So now I would like to open the opportunity to ask questions to any of us. If you have a question, raise your hand.